So Ford is asking almost $69,000 Canadian for this 2025 Ford Mach-E Premium E all-wheel drive. Let's take a look to see if it's worth it. And if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada. So if you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And thank you to Mayfield Ford for allowing me to review this Mach-E. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Mach-Es, the safety features that you do get with this premium model, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course, the pricing. Okay, so for the different models that you can get with the Mach-Es, this will be the Select, the Premium, which you're looking at right now, the GT, or the Rally. And in terms of the safety features that you do get with this, it's things like the Evasive Steering Assist, Ford Sensing System, and the Intersection Assist. And of course, it has the Ford Copilot 360 Active 2, which gives you even more things. And of course, since this is a full EV vehicle, in terms of the motor, now standard, you do get a rear wheel drive unless you opt out for the all-wheel drive, which this one has. And this one also has the extended range battery, so you get a 88 kilowatt hour battery on this. And in terms of the range with these, for the all-wheel drive, you're looking at about 483 kilometers of range. And in terms of the power output with the extended range and the all-wheel drive, you're looking at 370 horsepower and 500 pound-foot of torque. And towing wise, you're looking at about 1,500 pounds. All right, let's start things off in the front, and this is in a full black color, as you can see, but I want to try my best to show you the bits and pieces that are black depending on whichever other color that you do get. So starting off in the front here, you've got an all black bumper area, of course. Now you will notice these pieces right here, which are the black trimming. This is obviously going to be black, doesn't matter what type of a color that you do get with this. And you do have the front safety sensors that do run across, and you do have this opening underneath near the bottom with the sensor there in the center. And then you just get into what would normally be your grille area, but since this is an EV, you have this nice designing. Another thing that you'll notice if you do get a different color is this trimming that goes all the way around is in black, actually gloss black. So that's not going to be different compared to whatever other color. Let's say you get white, it's still going to stay gloss black. You've got the nice pony logo there in the center and a front facing camera right above that. And then you move into these very nice, very unique looking headlights. I love the designing on this. Like, you have the daytime one that kind of runs across the top there, and then it kind of has like the lines in between separating everything. So very nicely designed. And if you look at the front like that, this actually looks very aggressive and very similar, actually, if you think about it, to the Mustangs. And this being an EV, that means you do have a frunk. There's no engine obviously in the front, so to get access to that on the key fob right there, you're just gonna double tap and it pops open. And let's take a look at what we have underneath the hood here. So you do get some frunk space. It's not a whole lot, but you do get some sort of space. You can put some small grocery bags, maybe a gym bag or charging cables, but at least you do get something, which is nice. And all of the other like electrical components, as you can see, are covered, which I love. All right, now coming to the side of the Mach-E here, you can see the unique designing and the shape that this has. Another thing that this thing has added to it, and as an optional thing obviously, is the glass roof. Otherwise it is a body color roof, but the glass roof when you're inside looks amazing. You'll also notice on your pillars here, you do have your security codes if you do want to use those. And to open up the door, you'll notice there's no door handles on these. Well, you do have this little thing here, and if you just press this, you pull it with this, and that's how you open up the front door. Now for the rear, it's the same thing, but you don't really have anything here like the front. So if I just press that, it kind of pops open just a little bit like that. You can get your fingers in and you can open it. So it is no door handles, which is pretty interesting. So it has a nice clean look at least. And as for your side mirrors, this is actually gloss black, not body color, the black plastic underneath. You got the turn signal right here, and then these side mirror cameras. Now this does come with the full 360 camera setup, and I'll show you that inside. And then over on your fender, this is where you'll find your charging area or your charging port. You just press that, it opens, and there it is. And yeah, all your plugs are right there. And then right here is, once you do have it plugged in, if you press that, it unlocks the charging cable and you can just pull it out to close it. You just press it in and that's it. And underneath here by the doors on the front, you do have the Mach-E 4 badging, indicating this is an all-wheel drive. Now, something that I do wish that they did even on this trim, you'll notice around the wheels, it's all like this body color trimming, which is nice. But then you have the black plastic that runs across the bottom of the vehicle. I do wish that was in gloss black, or kind of have an option to get gloss black. I think that would have stood out so much. And then you move into these very unique, very nice looking aluminum wheels with the gloss black inserts. These just look very stylish, I think. And these are your 19-inch wheels. So if I do take a step back, you can see these look amazing with this vehicle, especially with the chrome popping out. And on the front also, right here, you'll notice you do have a reflector. And just like the front reflector, you do have one at the back as well. And speaking of the back, let's jump back here and see what we have going on with the Mach-E. The designing on this at first definitely didn't look good to me, but now that I look at it and the more that I see it, it actually looks very good. Another thing that you'll notice, like how I was mentioning, if depending on whatever color that you pick, the trimming up here, so this trimming right here in particular that goes all the way to the front, and this whole piece back here is in black. Now back here, your bumper is in the black plastic. I do wish it was body color and more of the rear safety sensors there. Here is your reverse light at the bottom and more of the reflectors back here. And then you just get into your tailgate area. So you have obviously another pony badge right there, your reverse camera right here. And then up top here, like I was mentioning, the black part, this is kind of like a built-in spoiler with the brake light there. And if you look at the designing of this, how it kind of slopes down, very cool. Speaking of cool, these tail lights back here, these are very nice. I love what they did with this. The super cool, unique designing on this. And even when you turn on your signal, I'll show you actually just right now what I mean. So as you can see, it kind of goes from like one side to the other. Very cool animation on this, and small things like that go a very far way, especially if you're asking someone like me. I love small details like this. All right, let's open up the tailgate, and the button is actually right down here. So if I just press this does have the power opening tailgate, of course. Now back here, this actually has a decent amount of space back here. So as you can see, you've got the plastic mats already laying there, and they're a pretty big size, and with all of that, you can fit quite a few things, especially if you're going on a road trip or just anything in general. You have a ton of room in this. Also back here, what you'll find is your 12-volt outlet right there. And then you do have some space underneath this. So if I do lift the carpet area, you have all of this room, which you can definitely utilize and put more charging cables or whatever it is you can stuff down here. All right, let's head inside and take a look at what we have going on with the Mach-E. So pressing that, opening the door, you can see it's an all black interior. There are some bits and pieces that do stand out. Now down here, you do have some decent room for storage and whatnot. And then right here, you do have your speaker area. I like that they kind of use like this fabric trimming rather than like the typical plastic. You also have another small speaker up here. Now this does come with the 10 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. And then your armrest area, all of this, you have the soft touch material with the nice white contrast stitching, and then this nice strip of chrome. And then up here is more of the soft touch material. So again, I like how there's no plastic or anything other than obviously down here. And speaking of the plastic, even here, this is not like plain plastic. You can kind of see some sort of designing texture on this, so that kind of stands out. All right, let's check out the seats. This does have an all black interior, of course. You've got the nice soft seats. I love how these look. You've got the perforated middle sections, perforated rear sections, and then again, more of the white contrast stitching. Just everything on the seats here, very nicely designed, like the way that everything is stitched, laid out, the piping, very good. And then of course, if you pull the center down, you do have your rear cup holders. Now I'm gonna jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom. So let's take a look. All right, jumping into the back here, legroom wise, I have a good amount of legroom. And even though this seat can be moved maybe a little bit more back, whatever it is, I still have tons of room. Now for the headroom, again, same thing. I have a good amount of headroom, nothing too crazy. Even though I'm wearing a hat, I still have good headroom. All right, now behind the seats on both of the sides, of course, you have the soft touch material. And just like I shown you the texture designing on the plastic here, you have it on here as well. So it's not plain. As you can see, this is more plain than this. So I like how they did this. It adds a little bit more, I guess, character in a way. And then of course you have your storage pockets on both of the seats. And over on the rear console area, you've just got your venting and then USB ports down there. And even on this, on the hard plastic, you have more of the same trimming that you saw on the doors. And here is what that beautiful fixed glass roof looks like. I love how this looks. I think if I was to get this, I would definitely go with this option. All right, let's head to the front and see if there's anything different compared to the rear. Now up here, you do have a little bit more space. There's some more space tucked in back here. And then you have like this kind of corner area for a water bottle. And then up here, you still have the same speaker, but then here you have the badging for the Bang & Olufsen, and everything else is pretty much the same, other than of course your typical window controls, side mirror controls, and then the driver memory seat controls. And even on this, you have the same trimming. So I like that small little attention to detail. And here's actually what your door handle looks like. So you just push this back, it unlocks the door obviously, but if you push it back all the way, this unlocks it. Let's say if your battery dies or if there's no power to the vehicle, that's how you manually open the door. All right, let's check out the front seats. These are exactly like the rear, very nice. The perforated sections, the contrast stitching. The front seats do come both heated and ventilated, so that's definitely a plus. And then on the side here, you have your typical power adjustments for the seats. And then even your door sill area, you've got this pony logo, and then obviously it says Mustang, so that's a cool little touch. Underneath, nothing too crazy, just your foot pedals. Over here is how you open up your frunk. And then moving further up here, you have a bunch of controls. So you have your max for the heating and cooling. You've got your exterior lighting controls, your cluster dimmers, and then the traction control. And then if you move up by the venting area, it has a nice sleek look. And then you have like this carbon fiber trimming here, which does extend through the whole dashboard. So that definitely pops out and looks different obviously. So I do like that they added this. And then obviously you have soft touch material even on this and white contrast stitching. And I'll touch on this here as well because this is your speaker and it continues down there as well. And then as for the steering wheel, this is manual adjustable. All right, when you're inside and when you open up the door here, you do have like this Mach-E animation that plays on the cluster area, which is very, very nice. Now when you enter inside, you have a pretty big dashboard area. And again, the same plastic trimming that you saw on the doors with the designing, it is on this as well. You got the speaker there in the center, and then you just move into your digital cluster area. Now, yes, this is a little bit small, but hey, you at least have a good viewing area and it makes your dashboard look even bigger. And this is a 10.2-inch fully digital cluster area. You already have everything laid out perfectly. I think you got your charge, speed limit, you've got your assistant in the center there, speed right over here, and then all of your EV stuff and then down there as well. So all the information that you need is already on there. And then as for your steering wheel, this does have the soft touch material, and you'll notice a bunch of trimming pieces in gloss black here, around here, and then another blacked out pony badge. To the left here, you've got all of your cruise control settings, follow distance, lane keep, all that good stuff. And then over here, you have your Bluetooth, phone, volume controls, and then your seek controls. And then back here, this little sensor, you'll notice this is for your Blue Cruise. So if you are not paying attention or drowsy or whatever it is, this will alert you. And behind the steering wheel, you do have your front and rear wiper controls, high beams, indicators, and then over here is where your gear shifter is. Now over on the center armrest area, more soft touch material, more of the white contrast stitching. Something unique about this is when you do lift it up, it's already open. You do have like this cover that you can close and put more stuff on top. But if you do open this, you do have a good amount of storage space in this. You have another 12-volt outlet and then more USB ports. And this, I like how it kind of has like a floating look. So you have a bottom area and then a top area here. Speaking of a floating look, even your center console has this nice floating look with more storage space underneath. And then you kind of have like a tiered look to this. So you have the top tier and then a bottom portion here. So the top one here has a few things. You have some open storage spaces here. You can put your phone here, wallet, or whatever. And then you have your electronic parking brake, your parking chimes to turn them on or off, and then your hazards. And then you drop down to this section, which will have your cup holders, and then you have this open space area. Now, the left side is your wireless phone charger, but the right side is not. And then if you look way back here, you have more USB ports. And also, something I noticed with this is a full EV vehicle, obviously, but you do have your start-stop button. So if you're, let's say, used to a vehicle with no start-stop button, you just get in, foot on the brake, vehicle starts, open the door, get out, it turns off. You might want to get used to this. And then you just get into this tablet. This is a 15.5-inch touchscreen. I love how this looks. I think it's positioned perfectly, and there's a ton of things on this that you can do. Starting at the bottom here, you have all of your heating and cooling temperature controls right on the screen, which I love. And then here is all of your heated seat buttons, vented seat buttons, heated steering wheel, and then the same thing for the other side. And then in the center here, you have your volume and power knob, and then you just get into your main section. Now I'm going to be going through these menus here, so let's click on these little dots to bring up the apps. So this has your radio, phone, navigation, media. You even got karaoke, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, charge settings. Let's go into that for a second. So on this, you can obviously pick your daily charge limit. You can put it to 100%, you can put it to 80, whatever it is, and even your preferred charge time. So let's say you want to charge at nighttime when electricity rates are low, you can definitely do that. If you go under advanced, here you just have the AC charge rate. You've also got the public charging. So if I click into that, so this is going to show you all of the public chargers. So as you can see, it lists a bunch of them all around you and how far they are and whatnot, and you can just navigate to them, and it'll even tell you how many stalls are available, which is cool. You've also got tire pressure, trips, and then just owner's manual. And then now under entertainment, you've even got YouTube in this, and then a bunch of different games that you can play. Now let's move into this vehicle icon. So here are all of your different settings that you can definitely utilize and change and kind of adjust to your liking. So here you even got one pedal driving. I want to turn this on because I think having this on in an EV, it's just a day and night difference and so much better. And then also you'll notice these three options. So you kind of have like different drive modes. So you kind of have like the more calm, quiet, and then under engage you have kind of like a balance of fun and kind of calmness. And then you just have, if you want to just go all out and go crazy. So I like that. And then also under your driver assistance features, you can turn these safety features on, off, and adjust them however you want. And then you have all the other ones as well. And also the Mach-E has ambient lighting. So if you go under general and then you just go all the way down to here, right here, it says ambient lighting. You can turn it on from right here, and then you have all of these colors, and then you can choose the brightness and whatnot. And then also up here in the corner, you do have your frunk release and then your trunk release. And now let's go into the cameras. So if I just click the camera section here, I love how big this screen is because you can see everything so nicely. Up top here, you have your front view camera on right now, and then you also notice your bird's eye view up here, and then this plus sign. So if I just click this plus sign, you can see all sorts of different angles. So if I want to see back here, it'll zoom into that exact place. So I love that. And you know, if you're towing or just parking in tight spots, this is so helpful. And now if I just go to the front here, it's just gonna show the front, it's already there. If I do this, it's going to show me a panoramic front view, which I love. All right, up top is just your rear view mirror, of course. And then if you move further up here, you do have your sunglasses area, of course, and then all of your interior lighting controls. Here is the key fob for the Mach-E. It's a typical Ford key, but you do have the pony back here, so that's nice. But yeah, typical Ford key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you the dashboard and the speaker that's built in. All of this here that you notice, the fabric kind of trimming that you saw on the driver's side as well, this is a speaker. I love how discreet it looks. It's just hidden away in plain sight. And then of course the nice sleek venting and more of this carbon fiber trimming. Very cool. And then you just got your typical glove compartment space. And here is the window sticker for this Mach-E. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars, and this may be minus any discounts if available. So that's everything you get for about $69,000 Canadian with the 2025 Mach-E Premium all-wheel drive and all the options that it has. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it's worth that price tag, or would you just pick something else?